Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is your host Maverick, bringing to you Maou-sama Retry episode 6. So anyways, last episode we finally got to, I guess, the main focus of Mr. Mao for this part of the story, and that is he's going to be setting up his base, which, you know, is basically a hospital plus an onsen resort, right? A hot springs resort. Like I said, this series is not really focused that much on the fighting and whatnot. It's more, you know, lots of day-to-day stuff and whatnot. But anyways, since we do know that this is his goal right now, of course he's gonna need to get materials, he's gonna need to get funding, he's gonna need to get actual customers, right? So we can expect him to start doing this kind of thing. And also, last episode, we finally meet the third and final member of the Saint Maidens. And of course, as with the other two, don't worry, she will have some connection with the Mao in a later date. Potentially this episode, my memory's a little bit hazy, but we'll get there. And even though she is, I guess, a little bit more normal than her sisters, if you will, this is a more comedy series after all. So, any case, let's just get into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah. Noma. Bar, so are we gonna meet those two again? Oh, it's these two. Chuni. And the Devilkin. Are we actually gonna get to their story in this series? No, we are at the halfway point. It looks like he's about to die from something. Oh, they did say she was a Chuni. Well, this time, you actually are true. And there's those two. Yukikaze. Ah, alright. Alright. I'll see you guys in a second. And back. I know I've mentioned it before, but I actually really like that opening song. Oh. Okay, I think they're about to meet, or have their first foray with the nobles of this city. No, but if I remember correctly. Yeah, her foot. Look how she looks like a little princess right now. Yeah, we get the PowerPoint slides again. You should probably do that beforehand, you know. Actually, oh, okay. I actually kind of forgot about this thing. Oh, is this the reason? Okay, okay, I think I know where this is going. Well, I have to agree. Strawberry tarts are quite tasty. Ah, and here we go. The Madam. Big shot of society. I like how that's her time. No, every time I saw her in the manga, I couldn't help but think that she's kind of like the Buddha. Like I said, you need some powerful backing from the noble. With her wearing that, it just seems so out of place. She looks like the princess in this case. Ah, and here we go. You know, I do like how nobody here questions him smoking cigarettes. Doesn't seem like this is something that they actually do have. Soap. Of course. Appeal to the ladies. So of course this is like leading her into it, right? First gaining her trust by having a sample of the product. And then engaging your interest until eventually this place. Oyster fry. Oh yeah, and there's this thing as well. So even with S rank adventurers, their actual stats. I mean, we can't see most of their stats, but it doesn't seem all that impressive, right? It's like everybody forgot that she's actually a maiden now. Once she's in that, you know, in that uniform or whatnot, it's easy to forget that she's actually one of the 3 holy maidens of this country. Of course, Yu is like not really used to kunai being like this. Okay, this is actually one of the few action scenes that we have here. Let's see how well they do this one. Again, the naming conventions for this work is just so troll. Like the offer is like, screw it. I'm just gonna call a hand an ice hand and an ice slash and whatnot. Ah, it's so funny to me. Good play. Summon debut. And of course, here we go again. Any deja vu, guys? No, actually, hold on. Is this it? Actually, this might not be the time. Alright, never mind. You know, you might want to pay more respect to somebody who can tear off your horn with just a rock. Yeah, he's trying to see his actual limits. Yeah, this one was just the small fry. Never mind. Hey, it's fireworks. Like, I never really quite got what the entire concept of the demon lord here is here. How exactly? That was like a pun. Yeah. 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 Not of course, I guess we had to have some action, I guess. Anyways, I'll talk more after the ending. Okay, so with this episode, we begin to kick off, I guess, the real concentration of action within this season of Maou-sama Retry. So it is going to continue on a little bit, don't worry, you guys will get your action. Although, like I said, it's not necessarily the strength of this anime. Like, when I was looking at the actual fighting scenes and whatnot, you know, I specifically went back and checked the manga because honestly, I feel maybe even reading the manga and watching the manga itself would maybe be a bit more more pleasing aesthetically and visually than the animation here. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, anyways, we will get to a little bit more fighting in the next few episodes, so do look forward to that, and some of it is actually going to be cool as well. These are all small fry, basically. Well, technically in the Mao's eyes, in his subordinates' eyes, you know, the 8 that come from Infinity Game, these are all small fry, right? Like, their powers are literally the difference between One Punch Man and his adversaries, if you will. So that's not really the point here. But the whole point of him doing these kind of things, he did talk a little bit with you about this in this episode, right? So I think it's safe to say now that with the information we have on hand, we can infer that the past Great Empire was one mostly ruled by power and violence and whatnot, right? So if the Mao wanted to, he could absolutely completely take over this kingdom directly. He can build up his empire again. There's literally no one in this world that's able to stop him, at least up to the part where I've read anyways. I haven't read the original light novel. Maybe potentially as time goes on there are more and more stronger enemies here, but at least for this point within this kingdom, pretty much no one can stop him. But that's not what he wants with this world as of right now, right? He doesn't want to use violence and power and whatnot to recreate the Great Empire. He wants to choose a different path, right? One that's maybe a little bit more modern in a sense, because you have to remember the person inside the Mao, right? It's three different worlds together. Our actual main character comes from the original world, our world, basically. I forgot his name again, but he's basically the programmer or IT or whatever, the developer for Infinity Game, right? So the Infinity Game character is another person as well, and it's that these two mix together here in this current world that we have this current situation. So of course, to our main character who has a different personality, he doesn't really want to do what he already wrote for Kunai within Infinity Game, right? He doesn't want to walk on that path, and that is why he's taking this time to not really just, you know, conquer everybody for show of force, but he's actually using some manipulation as well, such as the Madame here within this episode. So if you guys recall a few episodes ago, we see that the nobles here really do have a big say in stuff, right? We got the church, if you will, the Saint Maidens, we got the normal army, and then we also got the nobles as well. They form this sort of check and balance, if you will. And so if Maou-sama is able to get the Madame on his side, who basically represents the nobles in some sort of way, he can basically get that part of the triangle, right? And then of course the church, the Holy Saint Maidens, he's already got 2 of them on his side, basically, right? And then we'll also see his interaction with the third as well. The military, not really sure when we're going to see that. Up to what I read, I haven't seen his interaction with that part as well. But you can basically get the idea that he's going to eventually, take over this entire country through more diplomatic matters, more political kind of methods, rather than just pure brute force, right? So yeah, and that is basically it. And if I am going to nitpick one other thing about, well, I guess you can't really say nitpick, right? So beyond the animation, which I rag about on every episode, the thing here within this episode that I really feel they didn't do well enough is the Mao's interactions with the Madame, right? So this actually goes to sort of the same problem as with Mao and Luna, right? So they initially met, and then it seems that out of nowhere, suddenly Luna is very trusting of the Mao and whatnot, and they become companions. And here, again, so in both these situations, really the Mao is using more, how can I say, more logic in a sense, and he's also showing off his holy, how should I say it in English? Like his aura, if you will. Basically, he lets off this kind of feeling that he's not one to be trifled with. He's going to eventually become someone great, if you will. Like everything he says, he's gonna do. Nobody can stop him. He has that power, that kind of power. The aura of an emperor, if you will. And that is what basically brings all these other people to him as well. And of course he makes good on his promises, right? He's not somebody who just says a lot of hot air and doesn't do it. So that also helps in building his mythos as well. And that is the reason why both Luna and then eventually the Madame were willing to give this Mao a little bit more chance, right? He's not just some evil character, but he's someone who can actually, change the country and also be a good ally to Luna and the Madame and all the others, right? So they kind of, glossed over that here again. I guess they wanted to show some other things, but honestly, I feel like that is maybe a little bit more important than all the rest, right? Like how he is going about influencing these different powerful officials, powerful figures, and eventually getting into the center of power within this kingdom, right? So a bit of a, bit of sad that they didn't do that well, but again, not really expecting much from this anime, to be honest. But like I said, the next few episodes we're gonna have some more, hopefully more epic battles, and we'll also get to learn about a little bit more different characters as well. Although once again, that's not really the main focus point of this anime, or at least for this season, if you will. So yeah, I think that about covers everything I want to talk about for this episode. The next episode, it might be delayed a little bit next week on Wednesday, because I'm actually out on another business trip, so I'll be overseas. So it might be delayed by a day or two, or it might be on time. It depends on my schedule once I get back. So but in any case, I will still be, of course, putting this out as well. So just stay tuned, and don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. So hopefully I'll see you guys next time, and until then, see ya.